Alright, what's going on, guys? I promised I'd do a tutorial for Miracle Battle today. It's a how to play tutorial and kind of introducing some aspects of the game to people who might not know, like, everything about the game. So, okay, the first thing is I play in a different, style than the actual game dictates. Well, I have you can have anywhere from a 40 to a 60, I believe, 60 card deck. But I tend to stick between 40 and 41 because if you have more than that, it gets tough to draw the cards that you need to win. So it's kind of useless to play more than that. Now the game is kind of like Magic the Gathering, except there are some minor differences. I'll get into that a little bit later. But it's fairly simple to catch on to. I think one of the major things, especially with people like me who aren't fluent with Japanese, I think that's an intimidation factor with the game because there's very little to no English on the cards. So, but that's something you really get over. I took a semester of Japanese in college last semester, and I couldn't do it. It actually really made me dislike the language. But, I mean, you get over that, and you start to, as you get card effects, you start to notice things, and it will become easier to you. And now that I've worked with the cards for so long and just forced myself to do this, I've learned to notice effects such as like draw a card, or when sent out to attack or block or put in play, or when destroyed. Obviously the numbers are in English. I've learned even, well, that's partly from my background with the course. I've learned, what Big Bang Attack is. I've learned how to say Trunks. I've learned to read most of the names. I could probably read some of the effect text if I really tried hard enough, but at this point I don't really care. Yeah, but you catch on. Certain things are very easy to see, like all action cards have the same miracle effect text, and so do the dramatics. They'll say either for actions get the effect of this card, or dramatics it'll say put it in your hand. Now characters, the miracle effects are different, but some of them are easy to catch on to. So the first thing I'm going to I'll get into miracle effects a little later on too. The first thing I'm going to get into is just to show a basic character card. This is for red. There are 6 colors in the game, 7 if you count dual colored cards, which are kind of rare and they're sort of new. The first thing you got here, obviously you have Yamcha. You have his name up here. The Japanese actually spell it Yamacha. I prefer to call him Yamcha though. That's the first thing. Then up here you have a really important thing. You have this cost. Like I said, this game's similar to Magic, so you have energy, and to play Yamcha, you have to tap two of your energy. So he's a fairly easy character to play. Very early game, and then down here, sorry guys, bear with me. You have his powers. He starts at 1,000 with 0 jump powers. When you have 2, he's a 2,000, and when he has 3, he's a 3,000. So Yamcha's stats kind of suck, but you're talking about Yamcha. So now the jump powers, you get 1 jump power on one of your characters every turn. So like if I play Yamcha and he's my only guy in play, and I pass, my opponent goes, my turn, I can put a jump power on Yamcha, because he's my only character. But you can choose which one, and you get 1 per turn. Now there are cards like characters and actions and dramatics that do put extra jump powers on your guys. But you'll notice them because it has the actual jump power symbol from over here. So, I really hope you guys can see this. Right here, you have his effect text. It will say a timing, like right here. And Yamcha's timing is when he is destroyed, and the effect is draw a card. So when Yamcha's destroyed, whether it be by like a character attack or maybe an action or a dramatic effect, when he is destroyed, you draw a card. So Yamcha's basically he's a basic 2-cost character for red. He's all right. Another important thing to note is right over here. There's a little text. For Yamcha, that is Earth Warrior, I believe. I would call it Z Fighter, since I'm a fan of the original English dub. But for sake of things, I'll call it Earth Warrior. This is like a character trait in red. Character traits exist. They're based on, obviously, like what the character did in the show. And they can range from everything from, like, Earth Warrior in red to Saiyan, Super Saiyan, Earth Forces, which basically means human, I would guess. Super Saiyan 2, 3, 4, Fusion, Child, like Gotenks and... I don't know why I guess. Gotenks, Goten, and Trunks have that. Pan. From things like Android, Red Ribbon Army, and depending on the characters that have that characteristic up here, there may be things in your deck that go off of that. Like Yamcha, this actually became an important trait to me based on my mono red deck in the past couple of deck building things that I've done, because the new starter deck expands on it. So that's a basic character card. Now, this is sort of another basic character card. We have Pan. I'm not a big fan of Pan, but I just used her for the sake of showing this. Pan's red, obviously. 3 cost up here, you can see. Whoops. Sorry, guys, I'm uncoordinated with this. 3 cost. Now, you may see this up here. It's a little, like, red card. That's a cost reduction. There are cost reductions in this game. And what that means is when you have Pan in your hand, and let's say I would have Yamcha in play. Well, that's too close. Pan gets as many cost reductions as is up here while she's in your hand. So if I have Yamcha in play, he's a red character, then Pan gets 1 reduction from that off of her cost, meaning she goes from a 2 cost to from a 3 cost to a 2 cost. That works with all amounts of cost reduction. I have a very nice looking Super Saiyan Trunks here. If you can see, he is a 6 cost with a 3 red reduction. So if I have 3 red characters in play, at least 3, and I have Trunks in my hand, he gets -1 cost for each of those red characters up until 3. So if I have Trunks and I have, let's say, 4 red characters, I can play him for the cost of 3. Now let's say I have Trunks and I only have 2 red characters, I have to pay 4. I still hit as many reductions as I can, but I still have to pay the rest. It's not like he automatically gets 3. Now Trunks has an effect. Yeah, I'm good on it right there. Now this effect text is when sent out to attack, and one of the key differences with this and sent out to block is block has like a squared letter. It's like a square in the final 4 or 5 symbols, and it looks very similar other than that. So Trunks, obviously, he has his powers down here. He's going to be beefier than, Yamcha or Pan because he's a bigger cost, and obviously that leads to a better card. So that's basically that. on Pan, I forgot to mention, there is an effect down here, and it looks a bit different from all your other effects. This is because it's like an effect, a special effect for red characters only. This is called, I believe, Totsuka Key, which means assault. And what it does is, I have Totsuka Key 1. What it does is it gives Pan an effect. You may think she's like blank or something, but she's not. When she is sent out to attack, you can remove 1 jump power from her to draw 1 card. So that's a decent effect. But Red is really, really big on draw power. So you know, the themes are really built around drawing. There are some times in my Red decks where I have like 10 to 11 cards in my hand at one time. So draw power can get pretty crazy, and they actually take that to different levels. Some characters have Totsuka Key 2, and I believe only one character has Totsuka Key 3. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's only the Omega Rare Super Saiyan Trunks, Super Saiyan 3 Trunks. So now we're going to move on to another type of card. We're going to move to action cards. They're pretty basic. They have a timing right here where my finger is. They have a timing. This is attack or block. On the attack or block, you can use it. Some only have timing on attack, and some only have timing on block. Or some have main phase as well, or some have all 3. So you really gotta pay attention to that. Main, it's very easy to tell these apart. Main is 3 letters, so that's different from all the rest. And attack and block again has that squared letter as its 3rd letter. Attack does not. So that's how you tell that apart. This is obviously Big Bang Attack. I believe it's like Biku Bang or something like that in Japanese, but it's Big Bang Attack. Now here you have the miracle effect of the action. The miracle effect of the action activates when it's revealed as damage, which I'll get into a little bit later. But all action cards that have a miracle effect, they are the same. The miracle effect says, get the effect of this action. Now, when that kicks in, the timing does not matter. You get the effect of the action. So that's pretty cool. Up here you have its cost, which is 5. And then actions also usually have a cost reduction, and that's 2 red. So if I have Yamcha and Pan in play and I want to play Big Bang Attack, I need to tap 3 cards. 3 of my energy, because I get the 2 reduction. That works just like Trunks and all the other characters. If I only have 1 guy in play, I get that 1 reduction, so Big Bang would cost 4. It does not get more than 2 reductions, so if I would have like 4 or 5 red guys in play, it's still going to cost me 3. So that's how actions work. Now we go to the final card type, dramatics. These are very important to the game. Many of them set up your way to win. This is a dramatic called Trunks Begins or Trunks Starts. I really like it. I like the artwork on it. That was a pretty epic fight for me in Dragon Ball Z. So over here you have the name. Over here you have its cost, which is 5. And of course the reduction, which is 3 red. So it can cost a minimum of 2. Basically you have the effect down here, and you have a miracle effect above that. Most dramatics have miracle effects. There are, you know, that's like a common thing amongst dramatics, which is good. The dramatic miracle effect is always the same. It will always be, when this card is revealed as damage, move it to your hand, which is very good. It helps a lot, kind of makes them easier to fetch out. So all dramatics will have, like actions, the same miracle effect. And the effect of this action is, this is a very good action actually, of dramatic. The effect of this dramatic, it's very good. It allows you to draw 1 extra card and put 1 extra jump power on your guys at the start of your turn. so it doubles everything up, which is really good. But basically that's it. You got the cost, wrong corner. You got the cost up here, the cost reduction, miracle effect down here, and action effect below it. So it's not really that much of a complicated system to really learn. It's a fairly simple game once you catch on. I'm actually going to run through a couple turns of gameplay for you guys. I knew this video was going to be pretty long, so I'm sorry if it drags on too long, but there's a lot of material to cover and I kind of work a bit slow. So now I'm just going to kind of set up like a Maki-Air type system here. I'm going to be using a red deck, which this deck is actually basically a modification of the starter deck that just came out for red, with obviously some better cards thrown in and some bad cards taken out. So the new starter deck, I will say, is pretty good, especially for beginners right out of the box. It's very good. So alright, I'm gonna like basically set up like a Maki-Air type situation, and I'll show you guys like what some kind of actual gameplay is gonna look like. Okay, and my deck here, for like kind of anal players about the game, you get these with starter decks, just not the nice little pouch to keep them in. Get these things obviously called jump powers. They're like little plastic beads, I guess, kind of shaped like Dragon Balls. Colored like them, I guess. They're named after the power system in the game. So it's pretty cool. You get, I think, 10 with each starter deck or something. So okay, I'm obviously not going to shuffle this up. I'm just going to show you guys like what a mock game would look like. Damn it. Now I'm going to start with 4 cards just for the sake of playing by the actual rules. When I play with my friends, I play with a format of drawing 6 cards, except against Mike. But because it works better for me and them, it kind of sucks at 4 cards because it doesn't really give you too much to work with. And like it makes the game go a lot slower in my opinion, so we bumped it up to 6 cards in the starting hand, and we really like that a lot better. So I'll go through the turn procedure now for you guys. So you start your turn. The first thing you do is you get a jump power, but since I have no characters, I do not have anyone to place it on, so the jump power just goes away. Next thing you do is you draw a card. But I actually don't think you draw on the first turn, so skip that. Next thing is you get an energy, which don't mind me. That's supposed to come right from the top of your deck. You get 1 energy. I just did that because I have cards I want to draw for this tutorial set up to go. So you get 1 energy. Now you go to your energy ready phase, which if you had tapped energy or tapped characters, you would ready them. You can tell a tapped character usually by turning it sideways at some point or some angle, and you ready it by turning it regular direction again, face up, face down, or whatever. So the first thing you want to do is you look at your hand, and obviously this early in the game, you're not going to have any cost reductions, so you want to play characters. I have a 1 cost Sun Gohan in my hand. Don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, so I tap 1 and I play Sun Gohan. He's a red character, so I end my turn. My opponent is going to have to do something very, very similar because no one costs in this game can attack. So, my turn, back to me. Start a turn, I place 1 jump power on Gohan, because he's my only character, so I don't have a choice. I can draw my card for the turn, and my ready phase. So I ready my energy. I get my second energy here. You get 1 energy per turn. It's just the top part of your deck face down. You get it after you draw. So now I have no dramatics in my hand. My hand looks like this. I have no dramatics in my hand. I only have characters. So I can do a number of things here. I have 2 energy, so I can play Vegeta. He is a 2 cost red character, no reduction, so I have to tap 2. I will tap 1 of my energy, and then I will tap the second one, and I can play Super Saiyan Vegeta. So, now that he's in play, I can't do anything else because all my energy are tapped. So, Vegeta's effect is during your opponent's main phase, or the start of your opponent's battle phase, I believe. If he's readied, return him to your hand. So, obviously, Vegeta is meant to attack. Red is a very aggro element, by the way, just to throw that out there. So, I would attack with Vegeta, pass back to them, let's say they attack. At this point in the game, I can't afford, really, in my playstyle anyway, to lose any possible cost reductions. So, to save Gohan, Vegeta cannot block because he's tapped, by the way. So, to save Gohan, I'm going to give a damage to my opponent. So, the damage I flipped over is a dramatic. It's like a Super Saiyan bargain sale, and it's got a miracle effect. So, all the miracle effects for dramatics are the same, so it comes to my hand. Very good. So, let's say my opponent passes, it's back to me. I'm going to get a jump power on Vegeta. I'm going to draw a card. My ready phase, going to ready Vegeta, ready both of my energy, and I get a third energy. So, now, in my hand, I have Super Saiyan Bargain Sale that I just got from being revealed as damage, and it's got a cost of 2 with 2 red reduction. I have 2 red characters, so I can play that card for free. Its effect is all your red characters get the Super Saiyan trait, and they get plus 2,000 BP when they're sent out to attack. So, let's say I attack with Vegeta once again. I end my turn. It is their turn. They attack me again. I will say I'll flip another damage. It's another bargain sale, so it comes to my hand. Pass back to me. I'm going to put another jump power on Vegeta. Now it's my ready phase. Draw phase. Ready phase. Get your energy. You start to catch on pretty quick. Now I don't know why I didn't play him last turn. I have a young Trunks, I don't know why that's his name, in my hand. And he's got a cost of 3 with 2 red reduction. So I will tap 1 of my energy, and I will play young Trunks. So you guys can see that. Now he has the Totsuka Key effect, that when he attacks, I can remove a jump power from him to draw 1 card. I will tap 2 now to play my action card, known as Son Gohan Scream. The timing down here is main 3. There's 3 symbols, so that's main. And it's a 4 cost with 2 red reduction, so it only costs 2. With that, I get to destroy a character with a battle power of 5,000 or less. It's a very good card. So, now I will attack with Vegeta, and I will pass. let's say my opponent decides to attack me. At this point, I'm going to destroy Gohan, let him do that, and Gohan's effect kicks in. His effect is when he's destroyed, you can draw a card, so I will draw my card. My turn. I will put a jump power on Raging Trunks. I will draw. I will ready. I will get an energy. And I have 3 red cards in play right now. So I'm going to do something pretty cool. I'm going to tap all 5. Now granted, this is kind of rushed because I'm kind of on a time limit now. But I will play Super Saiyan Gogeta. He's an 8 cost. Oh, this card is beautiful, by the way. He's an 8 cost with 4 reduction, so he costs 4. I have 3 characters in play. He gets 3 of the 4 reduction, so he costs 5. Now, I already have Vegeta in play, and Gogeta shares the name of Vegeta. This will send my Vegeta to the discards, not destroy. It will send him to discards. Same with Goku, and both Goku and Vegeta. And all the jump powers that were on those 2 carry over to Gogeta or Vegito. Same works with Gotenks and Majin Buu and stuff. So, now Gogeta's effect is when he is put in play, all your red characters get plus 3,000 battle power, and they do 2 damage on the turn. So, let's say I just attack with Gogeta, and then I'll attack with Trunks, separate attack declarations. I'll remove a jump power from Trunks to draw 1 card, and that's basically your how to play tutorial for Miracle Battle, guys. So, I'll be back with another video after this, and it will be based on analyzing the colors of the game. I'll show all the other colors, at least like 1 card from each color, and I'll go into a bit about what each color's theme is. So, alright guys, I'll be back with another video today.